So if you think about how things would really work, our sculpted letters are not truly centered inside of their squares. And so what we have right now is an equal amount of horizontal space between the extruded edge and the right side of the square as between the forward edge and the left-hand side of the square. If these things were really sculpted and they were really centered, it'd be the back sides of the letters that would be centered, and then the forward sides would be coming outward, meaning that all of our letters and numbers need to move slightly up and to the left. But to what degree is the question? And we can find out exactly how much these letters should move using the alignment options. And so I'm going to switch over to my document so far. And the trick is to find a representative letter, and probably the simplest letter of them all here in terms of expressing it as a shape is the O. And so what I'm going to do is press the A key to switch to the white arrow tool, and then I'm going to click inside the red portion of the O to select that entire path. And the reason I'm using the white arrow tool is because the red and the black path outlines are grouped together. Now, it's a little hard to see these anchor points red on red, so I'm going to double click on an empty portion of the letters layer, and I'm going to change the color to something that's going to stand out better, like gold, and then I'll click OK. All right, now what we want to do is copy this guy, so go ahead and press Control-C or Command-C on the Mac, and then press Control-Shift-A or Command-Shift-A on the Mac to deselect your artwork, press the V key to switch to the black arrow tool, and press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac in order to paste that guy in front. All right, now we need to make it larger so that it takes up this forward side of the letter, and we're going to do that using that special scaling option that we saw in the previous chapter, Offset Path. And so go up to the Object menu, choose Path, and then choose Offset Path. And you're going to start with an offset value of 10, at which point if you turn the preview checkbox on, you'll see that's way too big. Something like 3 is a lot closer, but it's still a little bit too big. And so if you want to get it exactly right, try out 2.5 for a moment, and you'll see that almost goes all the way to the edge, which is why I came up with a value of 2.7 points, which looks spot on to me. And so I'll go ahead and click OK in order to accept that change. All right, now just go ahead and cut this guy out of the way by pressing Control-X or Command-X on the Mac, and that will show you that the original is still left over. So go ahead and click on it to select it and press the backspace key or the delete key on the Mac. Now select the checker right there and press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac to paste this guy to this other layer. And that should work, assuming that Paste Remembers Layers is turned off here inside the Layers panel flyout menu. All right, now I want to demonstrate what I'm talking about here. You don't really have to move this guy to a different location, but I'm going to go ahead and drag it down and to the right so that you can see this is where the back of the 3D letter would actually be located. And so now what I want you to do is shift-click on a square so that both of these shapes are selected, and then click on the square again to make it the key object. Then go up to the Control panel and click on the horizontal align center icon, followed by the vertical align center icon, in order to move that shape to the proper location. All right, now let's select all of the characters, which are relegated to the letters layer, by clicking in the upper right corner of that layer, like so. And then you want to switch to the outline mode by going to the View menu and choosing the outline command way up here at the top, or you can press Control-Y or Command-Y on the Mac. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little just so that I know I'm doing this properly. And I'll go ahead and drag this guy until we get a snap. See that Smart Guide snap right there at the bottom of the letter? And you may see a snap on the right-hand side as well, but you just want to get it more or less into place like so. Then you can select that dummy path right there, the one that you were using for alignment purposes. And if you're working along with me, then your anchor point should appear blue to tell you that you're working on the blue checkers layer, at which point press the backspace key or the delete key on the Mac in order to get rid of that shape. Then press Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac to zoom out, and press Control-Y or Command-Y on the Mac to switch back to the preview mode. And we now have 3D letters that appear to be properly centered inside of their squares. And that's how you precisely center the backs of your extruded letters using a combination of the Offset Path command along with the alignment options here inside Illustrator.